This isn't about healing, it's about hardwiring yourself for war. The version of you that flinches, explains, and reacts, it gets replaced by something far more ruthless. A mind that doesn't ask questions, it calculates. That doesn't hesitate, it controls. That doesn't stick around, it vanishes before retaliation is even possible. Before a king ever commands an army, he conquers something far more important: mental territory. Most people lose the war before it even begins. They rush into action. They speak before thinking. They try to prove instead of position. They react to every insult, chase every compliment, and spiral when ignored. But that's play for the weak. The king's first battlefield is invisible. It's not the board, the room, or the opponent. It's the mind behind the moment, yours and everyone else's. Here's the brutal truth. If you can't dominate the space inside your own head, you'll be dominated by everyone who can. Mental sovereignty means this: you do not react, you choose. You treat every emotion like a messenger, not a master. When your instincts beg you to defend, pause and ask yourself, what would a king do here? Not a boy, not a beggar, but a king. You don't beg for attention, you command it by how still your mind remains under pressure. Power isn't just the words you speak, it's the frame in which others hear them. The king doesn't walk into a room and say, "Respect me." He walks in and the room rearranges itself. That invisible leverage, mental control, is where every victory truly begins. Once you command your internal landscape, you move to the second pillar: frame control. Most people enter rooms looking to fit in, to mirror expectations, to be accepted. A king does the opposite. He sets the rhythm, defines the narrative, and forces reality to bend around his presence. Think of every conversation as a stage. Either you are the playwright or you're reacting to someone else's script. The moment you let someone else define the terms, what's important, what's embarrassing, what's off limits, you cede your power. A king speaks sparingly, but every word shifts the temperature. He doesn't fill silence, he weaponizes it. He doesn't chase applause, he expects respect. He doesn't seek permission, he demands alignment. When someone offers cheap praise or cheap criticism, the king reframes it instantly. If you want depth, speak with depth. He neutralizes jabs with a single, calm statement that redirects the energy where he intends it. Frame control isn't arrogance. It's emotional positioning. It's the invisible architecture through which your words and actions gain weight. Master it, and you stop defending your ideas. You start positioning them so effectively, resistance becomes futile. The third layer of king-level thinking is anticipation mapping, seeing 5 moves ahead instead of 1. Ordinary people respond to what is said. Kings ask why it's said now and what unseen motives guide each move. When someone compliments you, ask not "thank you," but "what do they want?" When someone insults you, don't snap back. Probe, are they baiting me into emotion? When someone goes silent, don't panic. Consider, is this genuine distance or a power test? This isn't paranoia, it's mental preparation for power. The king treats every glance, every pause, every shift in tone as intelligence, clues to be gathered. In conversations, he listens not just for content, but for context. Who aligns with him in subtle nods? Who trembles at unspoken challenges? Who masks threat with false friendship? He doesn't speak first. He absorbs information, mapping the room like a general in a war council. Every silence is a reconnaissance, every glance a coded dispatch. Then, with a single intentional word, he takes ground, seizing psychological territory without firing a shot. Anticipation mapping turns interaction into strategy. When you practice it, discussions become campaigns you win before you even speak. The fourth dimension is calm command. Reject the frantic pace of the masses and learn to think faster than the room while moving slower than everyone else. In chaos, most people react fast and think slow. The king reverses that. He processes threats in silence, letting his measured response hit like thunder. Your words land not because you shout, but because your silence has already been a storm. While others scramble, defending egos, chasing approval, drowning in distraction, you remain unmoved. You internalize the noise, filter the signals, and act only when you've distilled clarity. Calm command creates an axis of influence. When you speak, the room pivots. When you shift your gaze, heads turn. Your presence becomes gravitational, anchoring others even amid turmoil. This isn't passivity, it's the ultimate form of engagement, where every motion carries intention. To cultivate calm command. 1. Breathe beneath the trigger. In the face of provocation, let your exhale lengthen. 2. Think 2 steps ahead. Don't respond to the question you hear, respond to the one they'll ask next. And 3. Deliver with purpose. Each word is a tool. Use the fewest necessary to carve your impact. Practice this daily. In meetings, let silence follow your statement. Watch how people lean forward. In conflict, remain unhurried. See how aggressors lose momentum. In social settings, walk slower. Notice how others subconsciously match your pace, granting you the tempo. Calm command is the crown jewel of mental sovereignty. It transforms you from a participant into the unspoken pivot around which every conversation, every decision, every dynamic turns. Once you master stillness, you own the moment, even before you move. Having claimed your mind, your frame, your anticipation, and your stillness, the next evolution is ghost mode, moving like a shadow, invisible yet impactful. While a king rules by presence, the ghost rules by absence. Not all dominance steps into the spotlight. Some of it disrupts and departs before it can be touched. In an age of constant visibility, social media updates, endless broadcasting, overexposure kills mystery and drains value. The ghost flips this script. 1. Appear with intention, not habit. Don't be everyday's story. Be the rare headline. 2. Speak surgically, not compulsively. Let your words land, then withdraw into silence. 3. Withdraw before comfort becomes predictability. Exit conversations, rooms, and digital spaces while anticipation peaks. This scarcity-triggered psychology works because humans assign higher value to what's limited. Your time, attention, and responses become precious when rationed. Familiarity breeds contempt. Mystery demands longing. To train ghost mode, delay responses. Make them wait just enough to feel your absence. End on a high note. Conclude interactions before fatigue sets in. Control your availability. Vanish strategically when you sense utility slipping. When disrespected, don't argue. Vanish. Let the weight of your absence become their mirror. When taken for granted, disappear. Let the vacuum reveal their dependence. When games arise, become invisible. Force them to realize the game only works with your participation. The ghost isn't reactive, he's emotionally sovereign. Baits, flatteries, insults, they all fail. Because you've mastered selective exposure, you control the board without ever standing on it. Your silence becomes a statement, your withdrawal, a command. Merged with kingly stillness, ghost mode creates unpredictability so profound that others can't decode your next move. You operate on a frequency most cannot perceive. And in that silence, the rare, intentional silence, you haunt their thoughts, pulling attention long after you've gone. This is the hybrid evolution, thinking like a king and moving like a ghost. Presence becomes deliberate, no longer given away, but deployed with surgical intent. Silence becomes strategic, not a retreat, but a repositioning for maximum impact. Most people are addicted to volume, constant posting, ceaseless explaining, frantic activity. You learn to treat presence like a blade. Each appearance cuts through the noise. Each word you speak shifts the room. Each departure creates a vacuum that amplifies your worth. To master this dual role, show warmth, then silence. Demonstrate value, then disappear. So absence echoes louder than presence. Reward loyalty, not dependency. Be selectively available. Let others earn your attention. Disrupt predictability. Appear early one day, vanish entirely the next. Keep them off balance. This rhythm disruption makes you unreadable and irreplaceable. People can't manipulate patterns they can't anticipate. They begin to live in your wake, remembering your silence more than your voice, craving your return. Emotional sovereignty underpins it all. You feel deeply, but you show selectively. You care intelligently, but you act strategically. You are loyal, yet never chained. Every emotional leak is a signal of vulnerability. You seal each one with discipline. Over time, your influence becomes unforced dominance. You don't shout, your reputation moves ahead of you. You don't defend, your absence cuts deeper than insults. You don't chase, your silence invites pursuit. You're no longer building a personality, you're crafting a myth. A presence that people can't predict, can't ignore, and can't forget. In a world of echoes, you become the original voice. So remember, think like a king, dominate your mind, command the frame, anticipate every move, and wield silence as stillness. Move like a ghost, appear intentionally, speak surgically, vanish strategically, and haunt in your absence. When you merge both, you step onto a frequency most cannot even perceive. You become a force unchallenged, a presence unreproachable, a legacy quietly unforgettable. Don't chase reactions, install the throne in your mind. Don't beg for attention, withdraw with purpose. Don't react, it's for peasants. Choose, it's for kings and ghosts. Now rise, the room has already shifted.